Hello, this is Gilbert Zanaria for BNA. Today we're going to be answering a question in regards of how could we best bring supplies to other places, remote places in Ukraine for specific needs. We're talking right now about wheeling chairs and crouchers to bring them directly on the front line. So okay, we've got different options, and of course we want to find the one that's going to be the most appropriate and the more efficient as well. So let's go deep into it. And of course, as soon as we're going to be able to do it for wheeling chairs or for crouchers, then we'll be able to duplicate that concept for any type of supply and good, as well as for any different countries who would need such supply or concept as well. That's the whole idea of BNA. It's about duplicating the concept and doing a copy-paste. Okay, so here's the specific question. So we've got one person from Red Cross, Uzhhorod in Ukraine, who tells us that she was from Kharkiv, far east of Ukraine, and she moved to Uzhhorod now. However, there are some needs, and she knows about that, about wheeling chairs and crouchers for the front line as well in Kharkiv. So how could we best bring those supplies over there, right? So the best thing, of course, is to brainstorm and to work at the different people at the same time. It's always better. So the first thing is, okay, we have the first option is to get close to other Red Cross places, offices, and ask them to gather all the different wheeling chairs and crouchers that they could be finding for free around this area. That's option one, right? The second option would be for those different Red Cross offices to be able to join efforts and to be able to buy around those different areas some wheeling chairs and other goods needed like crutches, second-hand ones that they could be buying around those areas and then bringing them over there. So that would be option two, right? Well, the second option is done. Now let's go for the third one. Well, the third option would be to reach out for other NGOs. And that way we could be asking for a Vostok-SOS, which is another not-for-profit organization within Ukraine. And they're also in Uzhhorod right now. So they are able to join forces with other tasks, and as they've got already their network everywhere around Ukraine, then that way they could be asking their team, strong of 300 members, to be able to get back to Red Cross Uzhhorod, and from there the Red Cross Uzhhorod would be able to connect to the Red Cross offices near Kharkiv, right? So that's option number three. And that one would be just amazing, because if we do this, then that means that we are already creating synergies between different centers in different places, remote places, such as the Red Cross, as well as other NGOs like Vostok-SOS, right? So that's option number three. Well, option number four, and that's of course my favorite, option number four will be to be asking networks of volunteers coming from different NGOs, companies, and also different countries. So that means that we have to be working jointly and working with, for example, WhatsApp. The WhatsApp group allows us to be able to share information and those information will be secured as well. And as soon as we've got the right people in those different WhatsApp groups, then we'll be able to network, meaning we don't need all members in it, but at least some coordinating people specific to certain NGOs. That way they will be able to work with their network and be able to share those information with others, right? All right. So as for info now, we've been looking for those different 4 options. That's one thing. But now let's talk about specific intels. So we know right now that wheeling chairs and crouchers are being brought to certain refugee camps along the border of those 5 countries, European countries bordering Ukraine. And the challenge we are facing right now is that as soon as those trucks are coming to those different countries, sometimes they have to travel through different countries, maybe 6 or 7 countries in order to reach those different refugee camps, right? But as soon as they reach those different refugee camps along the border, well, those goods are being stamped right away by both federal government and also the army. And that's something, it's difficult to understand because we have stocks of wheeling chairs. We're talking about dozens of wheeling chairs within, for example, only one remote facility and storage in refugee camps. We've got dozens of wheeling chairs, cubic meters of crouches, and those are being stuck there in those different centers. On top of this, those stocks are being watched upon from military staff 24/7, and that means that the stocks are not moving. And we're talking also about something like 24 pallets of diapers for kids, which are not used by the refugee camps as well, because I've been seeing them for weeks being stuck there, right? So the concept is, how can we get out those different goods from those different refugee camps and being able to transfer them to different other places? Well, that's the old concept, because I understand that the refugee camps want to keep secure those different objects, maybe for their own needs of those refugees coming in. But I understand from my point of view that if refugees come and need wheeling chairs, for example, they will be already using those wheeling chairs as soon as they reach the different holistic centers and refugee camps, right? So now the option will be, in that case, for the Red Cross Uzgrod to be connecting with the Red Cross, for example, in Poland, close to those refugee camps, and asking with a specific demand, a letter co-signed by different members, to be asking the refugee camp to be allowing them those different goods. That way, now we will be able to bring those different goods to those different refugee camps. However, we still need to be thinking on how we are going to be bringing those different things. And this is where we could be bringing in other not-for-profit organizations or volunteers, such as Solidarité Entraide, a French concept, who already have different, in France, they've got different groups of WhatsApp for different regions, and then they collect those information and they make transfers with trucks directly, for example, to Medica, where this concept was originally created. And then they've got storages as well. And also they have trucks who do back and forth travels from Poland to Ukraine. And as a parenthesis, this concept is just amazing. And they also have an amazing website and a form where they can be sharing those information, and you can just log in and create your own transfer for goods, and this could be duplicated, this concept, to other countries, and they just need to have their website translated in English and having other countries creating them. So that's something we should be working on as well altogether. And the website could be called Help Together, for example, right? Help Together, that would be an English version of Solidarité Entraide. So that means as well that we need transparency between the different groups and the refugee camps as well, for them to be showing and showcasing their real stock, and that way we could be using more efficiently the stock and the resources, right? That also means and implies that every single group or NGOs should be voluntarily working and co-working with others without taking the responsibility of owning the concept of one or the other transfers. That way, what counts most is that in Kharkiv, we'll be able to deliver those goods where they're most needed, right? That's the only thing that counts, because we are all here to help refugees, right? So otherwise, the goods remain in the storages. More trucks will not able to unload the goods because the storage will be full. Army staff will be paid for not working the best way possible. That means money being lost for contributors who pay taxes. We're talking about time wasted, space wasted, and also good deeds for people giving those goods that are not fully accomplished because the goods are just remaining in different storages. And I would say we just need to have faith that everyone will work together for the best, right? So this is Gilbert Zanaria for BNA. I wish you everything, all the best for you. Thank you very much for listening.